the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.
Oh, hello, and welcome to a wonderful episode of Coffee Talk. Good morning. Good morning. I'm one of your hosts, Matt, and I'm joined by a couple of my esteemed friends, Taryn and Brandon.
Hello.
What's up? What's up, guys? How are you? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, I actually missed you a lot this week, actually, Matt. I don't
So
know why.
sweet. Okay.
We didn't really,
that's nice.
so like we usually talk a bunch throughout the week, but I mean, this week's just been kind of busy and just didn't really get to talk
yeah.
as much.
Yeah, it was a hell of a week. I took overnights pretty much every day except yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was a whole thing. Brandon, how about you? Did you miss me? I missed you.
I missed you.
I missed both of you guys.
You know, work has been kind of not fun. I managed to hurt my fingers.
Ouch. Are you
Fingies?
okay?
Yeah. You know, just
Okay.
the joints in my fingers have started going.
Oh,
Oh, that's not great.
it's not great at all.
No.
Have you
Part of getting old.
have you considered like getting new ones?
I considered having one of my coworkers run my fingers over yesterday.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know, if you do that at work, you get money.
That is true.
I've heard. You get money from work.
Yeah,
if you get
I
hurt
just
at
gotta
work.
find the dark corner where there's no cameras.
Yep.
Yeah. Or you just make it look like an accident. You just gotta be like, oh, I tripped and fell and my fingers got run over. I don't know.
Yep.
We're gonna delete this part of the podcast so Brandon can run his fingers over tomorrow.
Financial fraud is not cool, gentlemen.
That's good.
Leave that part in.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, today the topic is it's a super big secret. I think I might know about it. I've only heard the name, but it's all been written up. We got Taryn.
Yep.
We put him on the case. He's on the case, and he's going to tell us about Kimberly Sullivan. So kick back, pop your toes, and enjoy waking up to this atrocity.
So I learned about this story last weekend, and I just had to talk about it in Coffee Talk because, man, it's crazy. So obviously this story is about Kimberly Sullivan. She lived in Waterbury, Connecticut. There's a house on Blake Street. All houses look relatively the same. 2 stories, small porches, trimmed hedges. The kind of neighborhood where you expect the sound of kids to be playing outdoors and slamming doors after school.
So it's like a suburb type.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
People waved, people mow their lawns, people went to work and come home again. And in one of those houses lived a woman named Kimberly Sullivan. She had a family, a routine, a life from the outside looked very ordinary. Nothing about that house suggested a secret. All right,
Was
so
the secret too many dogs? Does she have a lot of dogs?
she
Is this one of those
she does have
puppy
a
mills?
dog, but she also
one
has
dog.
cats.
She doesn't run.
I
a
don't know
puppy
how
mill, okay?
many.
Cross that off
I
the
know
list.
of one for sure, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but it's not a problem. That's not the main. That's not the main thing.
The pets are fine. In
Okay,
fact,
the
we
pets are
talk
fine.
about the pets just a little bit later.
Oh,
The family next door, neighbors would later describe Kimberly as quiet, not unfriendly, not strange, just private. The family didn't host any parties. They didn't make noise. They didn't cause problems. And in a neighborhood like this, that's often enough. No drama, no attention. No attention means no questions. Life passes in by seasons. That's usually like not a thought goes by. Halloween decorations come up and go down. Christmas lights flickered on and off. Years folded into each other. And at the house stayed the same. Kimberly Sullivan wasn't the kind of person who drew attention. On February 17th of 2025, there was a fire.
yeah.
Late at night, Kimberly frantically calls 911 because her house is on fire. When the police and firefighters arrive, she is still in her house. She seems distraught, but not for reasons you might think. After police take her outside to clear her from her house, she's extremely concerned about her pets, her pet cats. So she was holding a dog. She has a couple pet cats that were in the house. Oh, small little detail. There's someone else in the house.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like her child? Does she have a secret family living in the basement?
You buried the lead here, Taryn.
Hold on. Can we take bets on who was in the house real fast?
Sure.
Can we guess? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna say psychic child. He's a child psychic. That's and his name is Dave.
Okay.
Dave the child psychic. That's my guess.
I'm
Brandon?
I'm going to guess her identical twin, Melissa 2.
No.
Melissa too.
All right.
Classic.
So, yeah, there's someone else in the house, but let's not focus on that at the moment. The firefighters rescue the person in the house. They put the fire out, but they make a shocking discovery. The man they rescued was Kimberly Sullivan's stepson.
Nice.
He is
Was
30.
he stuck?
He's
somewhere?
32 years old, and going forward, I'm just going to call him John because this is where. Okay, so we're just going to name him John for the moment. When good,
I think I might. I kind of remember this. Go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
that's fine.
I'm going to keep doing that. But go ahead.
When John was put into the ambulance, the EMT saw something horrific. See, he was extremely malnourished and reeked with extreme odor. Even John knew this to be true. He was so apologetic to the EMTs, and in between him taking breaths of oxygen due to smoke inhalation, he said it was over a year since he had a shower.
Stinky boy.
Thankfully, he wasn't severely injured from the fire, except for some minor smoke inhalation. He'll continue telling his stories to the EMTs. We'll get into that in a bit, but we're going to go back to Kimberly. She's frantic, of course, her house is on fire because it was drawing attention, the very thing she did not want. When firefighters were processing the scene, trudging through the hoarded house and soaking debris of the fire, they made a few discoveries. There was a lock on the exterior door of a bedroom on the second floor where the fire started.
Yikes. So like, only good things are behind that door, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing's horrifying.
Yeah, nothing really
Maybe-
horrifying. No.
Maybe like a bunch of, it's like a board. This is their board game room. They
Yeah,
have
maybe.
to lock their board games away to keep people from
Yep.
stealing them, right?
Yep, maybe.
It's just the bathroom they didn't want them to use, you know?
Yeah,
Taryn, I love it when you lie to me. Thank you.
of course. Well, it turns out that in John's story to the EMTs, he was kept in that room for 20 years.
My God.
Jesus.
He was kept there since he was 12.
And what year did this happen?
So
Did she
The
find
f-
did
the fire happened
last
February
year?
of last year.
Okay, so he already knew about 9/11. Dang it.
Well, maybe not.
Kind of go into that. I think he probably knew, but I got a detail for that later. But I mean, it's kind of weird.
Oh.
John said that he started the fire using hand sanitizer and a lighter and a piece of paper. His thought process was it's better to die than keep living like this in a small chance of freedom.
Oh.
The EMTs saw John's gray skin, rotting teeth, and the fact that he was 5'9", weighing 70 pounds.
God damn.
Extremely frail, barely clinging to life.
Dude's on the Jenny Craig diet. Christ.
He you know, stop that Ozempic, kids.
Yeah, fucking Ozempic.
So
Just mainlining it.
when John started the fire, he knew he had to let it get big enough to where his stepmom could not put it out. Because if he was locked in there, he was banging on the doors after the fire got big enough, and that's what woke up Kimberly. And I mentioned that Kimberly was still in the house when the police arrived, which is kind of odd. Any guesses as to what she was doing in the house?
Was she trying to kill her stepson?
No.
Okay. Brandon, what do you think?
Well, I'd say trying to barricade the door to keep him from getting out, but
Nope.
I feel like it kind of goes right back to killing the stepson.
No.
Was she in the middle of a spicy episode of Grey's Anatomy?
No.
Just couldn't get out. Okay.
So she was attempting to wash John as fast as she could, so that way the firefighters could not see the horror of John.
She could
So
not
she was like,
see
"Quick,
the
get
horror
in."
of John. He's got gray skin and rotting teeth.
Oh yeah.
She's like, quick, get to the shower. Get to the shower. They can't see you like this.
Obviously, well, John didn't really want her to clean him up because he was set free for a moment. Like he was downstairs
Yeah.
in the bathroom, so he just collapsed on his floor, and also probably that is smoke inhalation too. Just collapsed on the floor, and then Kimberly is frantic, and then the police basically tell her to get out of the house because there's a fire, and they're trying to deal with the process the scene, and so John is laying there on the first floor in the bathroom, and while she's telling the firefighters that she's concerned about the cats, she's not concerned about John whatsoever.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
good. She sounds like a nice lady.
Yeah.
Very nice lady. Just keeping
yeah.
a man.
So he was obviously rescued by the firefighters, and one of the firefighters said that he was as light as a feather because of how weak and how much he weighed. It was like 70 pounds for a 5'9" man.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not-
pretty light. That's
extremely malnourished.
I guess we'll probably get into it later. Is this like a sex thing? Did she keep him for sex? Is that, or is she just a ruthless bitch?
Okay, so that's a little bit later.
Okay, we don't have to get into it.
No,
now.
it's fine. John says it was never about sex. It wasn't. He was never abused in that way.
it's only once, every now and then you get to hear about a freshly what do you call it?
Someone that's been
abducted
locked
child.
away
Yeah.
for 20 years of their life.
Yeah, that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. So this is obviously like huge crimes against humanity, I would say, at least. Like this is,
There's certainly one of them. Yeah.
yeah, when you're locking
one.
someone up for 20 years, I would say that's pretty fucking bad. Now, John was 12 when he started being locked up, and he explains a little bit about his childhood and his story to the EMTs on his way to the hospital. Actually, it doesn't take him very long to tell his life story because he's been locked in a room for fucking 20 years. So
Yeah.
he doesn't
like
have
it was-
very many, life experiences to tell.
It was pretty good, but yeah, basically I just stared at the ceiling for 20 years and nothing changed ever. That sucks. That sucks, Taryn. That sucks.
Yeah. He did have a
Goddamn.
radio.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm glad he had
how
that.
I
Yeah.
think he was able to know about 9/11. Circling back.
Well, if it was 20 years, it was 2005 when he got locked up, right? So
Oh, that's true
he
too.
would have known.
Well-
He would have known about it already. But
Yeah.
he just had to listen to like Katy Perry for like 7 years there. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having only Katy Perry to listen to on like a top 40 station?
Or think about the Mariah Carey Christmas songs every year.
Oh, my God, yeah. Do you think he loves that song, or do you think he hates it?
I think he probably
think
hates
he's
it.
like-
I don't think he probably ever wants to listen to the radio again.
I don't know. Maybe he really relates to that meme where like
Maybe it's
she's like
Stockholm
breaking
Syndrome?
down the doors. Yeah, fucking Mariah Carey is a big part of his Stockholm syndrome. He's like,
Oh my
at
god,
least
that'd be bad.
if I'm trapped in my room, at least I got Mariah Carey in Christmas time.
Oh
know?
man, that's terrible.
Ugh.
Also, if you think
Yeah.
about like country music, because obviously we're Midwest, a lot of that's freedom.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the country music's like, yeah, I went outside drinking beers, hanging out.
That's pretty bad too.
Not for this guy.
No, not for this guy or John.
I bet he was a big NPR guy. I bet he was
Yeah, kept his mind, occupied.
solid.
So we're going to dive into a little bit about his living conditions here. So in the room, if he needed to go to the bathroom, he had newspapers where he had to pick up the number 2, and he was allowed out of his room for about 1 hour or 2 hours a day. So 23 hours he was locked up.
That's a lot. It's a long time.
So in the 1 or 2 hours, he actually throw the newspapers away in the kitchen trash. He was talking about how he actually devised a little mechanism for straws that went out of the window, and he would pee in a bottle and then pour the pee into the straws, and it would just drain out the side of the house out the window that way, because the windows were mostly boarded up. Early on, there is actually a moment we're going to talk about he waved at someone. It's a noteworthy thing. Neighbors didn't know this was happening because he was trained to never make a sound. Often think about like Harry Potter, where they want to keep the kid like underneath the staircase, or like in the closet. Like they just want to. It's very abusive. Just never let them know. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah,
I would say it's abusive.
I've got to say this. You see a house with a fucking boarded up window. What do you think is going on in there?
Well, maybe it's just a rundown house. Not everybody can afford, brand new things, a brand new house, brand new windows.
I'll be honest. Usually the first thing I think of is like meth. They're making meth there.
True.
I don't know. Go ahead, Brain. Finish
I just don't think anything good is happening in a boarded up house that people are actually living in.
No.
It's not the boarded up house.
Sure.
It's just the boarded up second story. To be fair.
That's
still
that's super sus. I mean, you see that and you're like, why is? It's been 20 years, Sharon. I know her name is Kimberly, but pretend her name is Sharon for a minute. This is some other lady with her stepson locked away, and it's like, Sharon, it's been 20 years. You got to fix the windows, okay?
Yeah.
This is unsightly. It's unsightly. Just at least fix them.
The homeowners association is going to have a fucking cow.
Dude, you're gonna they're gonna put a lien on your house.
I don't think there's a homeowner situation. In fact, I don't think a lot of people, nobody really knew about this.
There's no HOA for keeping your child in. That there's no regulation against that. That's good.
Yeah. So some things were kind of popped out in my mind. See, John was 12 when this relatively started happening. He said his earliest memories is always being locked in that room. However, he did go to public school for a time being. And while he was at public school, he was diving through trash and drinking from like the back of toilet tanks because he was so thirsty and just starving. Obviously, this is not good. Teachers reported this incident and they filed complaints, and then they talked to the parents. And what this ended up happening, this took place over like probably months, or if maybe a year or whatever, during this time period when there was reports going on. Several teachers were making these reports, and they were talking to the parents, and their excuses of like, well, he's just a boy, a kid that likes to play in the garbage. He's just going to be a kid just doing what he wants. They can't stop him,
That didn't sound too crazy. Playing around in the trash.
Yeah,
he's just one of those boys that likes to drink out of trash cans.
Yeah, or just get a little dirty. I mean,
just one of those kids that he sucks on banana peels for their potassium.
I will agree the drinking out of the back of the toilet tank is sus, but
yeah.
That they say that's where the freshest water is, though.
That it is relatively clean compared to
the inside of it.
The inside of the toilet. We can at least give them that.
That's true.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Hey, this is concerned," and she's like, "Nah, it's fine."
Yeah, he's just a boy that wants to play in dirt and trash, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
this man, he's just a boy who has worms for friends.
Yeah.
Literal worms. He keeps an earthworm as a pet. No big deal.
Yep. So, needless to say, a lot of these reports kind of stacked up, and then so much so that John's father was really upset with all these reports, and he ended up...
God forbid he was really upset.
He ended up to threaten a lawsuit of harassment against the school board and the people...
That's it?
Well,
that's what he's worried about, is the school board?
Well, the school board and like the police, like, because his family's being harassed. And when this happens, a lot of people back off because they're like, all right, fine, like, live your life the way you kind of want to live it, because we can't tell you really what to do. and like your parenting is your method, like it's not, they can't really step too much in because it's their family, and so they back off. So in with these reports, as a result of the harassment to the parents, they pull John out of public school and they start homeschooling. And
That's good. That's good for him.
well, is it though? Because
No, it's not. It's probably the worst thing they could have done.
yes, yeah, because when he was at home more often than what he was actually at school for, like he was locked up for the majority of the time. Obviously, there would probably be people go check on. I would hope there's a system in place. I know there kind of is, where if someone's being homeschooled, that you got to check on the child, for just in case there's not domestic abuse, stuff like that.
I think it's there's like a check-in system. I know they do like actual tests, like to
Well,
make sure they're learning. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, this, like, I don't know. This was 20 years ago when he was started, being locked up. So I don't know how frequent these tests were and how robust the system was at that time. I can't speak to the state of Connecticut. I don't know their policies, and how they do homeschooling there. I don't live there.
we don't know. Connecticut's like a foreign country to us in Iowa.
And 9/11 kind of, wrecked the system a bit that we were still recovering.
I feel like there was some bigger problems at hand, during that time period with the country.
Yeah, we were invading Iraq at the time still.
Yeah.
We were over there in Baghdad hanging out.
Yeah.
That's why this kid had to be locked in his room.
Oh,
Let's be honest here.
Okay.
Saddam Hussein is responsible for this.
Oh my God.
And Dick Cheney and George Bush.
Yeah. So he was locked in his room. Let's see. He had an old TV, but it didn't work anymore. And actually, that's what Kimberly said. Well, I think that's what John said to Kimberly as to what started the fire when he used hand sanitizer, a lighter, and paper. So he wanted.
Like, I was watching the static again, and it just burst into flames.
Yeah, it was like an old black and white one, like a really old one. Like I don't. Yeah, and I think it just didn't work very much anymore, and it was just very dangerous or whatever. So that's kind of giving you a little bit more context of what his room was like. He didn't have much. He didn't even have a bathroom in his room, like adjacent to his room. So anytime he had to go to the bathroom, like I said, it was the newspapers or just a bottle.
A non-functional TV, a radio, and some old newspapers. That was his.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you think his favorite comic strip was? I bet it was Marmaduke.
I bet he loved the funnies.
He was probably Big Dilbert.
That's all he had.
Probably Big Dilbert head.
Yeah.
And Dilbert's racist. Did you know Dilbert's racist now?
Oh,
Just
now
found
he's
that out
dead.
yesterday.
So
Oh, he's dead.
yeah, he
That's
died
crazy.
just the other day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Dilbert died.
Yep.
Dilbert died.
So as
Rest in peace.
John was growing up, he did actually break a panel on the door that was locked, and I'm guessing to try to escape or something. And because of this, he was beaten. Like he was not great.
It's not funny. It's not. I'm laughing because it's just horrible. It's like,
Yes.
you want to leave?
Nope.
Nope.
And then
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
so from that time period, throughout the years, the security locks got bigger and more stronger because he was getting stronger. So they didn't want him getting out. Anytime there was guests over, he was told not to make a sound. Anytime there was like a check-in or whatever, I think he was probably coached. I don't really know. Or maybe they had excuses lined up like, oh, he's out with family in, a different state, They might have whatever, whatever lie that the family could come up with to get away with it.
Yeah. Was his stepdad around when he was finally found? or was did
no,
he
we're
leave?
gonna get into the family just
Okay.
next.
And also, I just want to say, for anybody out there who's considering locking your child or stepchild up, it's as you can see, it's actually a lot easier just to wait until they're old and then to just kick them out. And it's,
Yep.
just like do the bare. I mean, if you're gonna be a total whore about it,
Yeah,
not like a, you know what I mean. If you're gonna just be an asshole like this, it's a lot easier just to do the bare minimum and then kick them out and never talk to them again than it is to keep up this facade for 20 years plus.
well,
And,
keep in mind he was locked away when he was 12, and he's 32 when they found him.
yeah.
So he was definitely old enough to be an adult. Like he's definitely in his, like, I would say almost middle aged. Like 30 is,
Yeah, he's old. Yeah, I mean he's getting up there. He's probably got bad fingers like Brandon.
I wonder if he
He's-
has joint pain like what Brandon has.
Yeah, probably. He's got that fibromyalgia. He's coming in.
I mean, on the other
He's
hand,
out
he's
there.
only got 70 pounds to, have to move around.
Oh, dude, can you imagine how many pull-ups this dude could do just right off
I don't
the
think he
rip?
could probably
bet
do.
he's fucking.
I don't think he could probably do any. I think he's
You give him a couple weeks to bulk up a little bit.
Weeks?
Oh, dude.
so the doctors were concerned about malnutrition, and there's a thing called Holocaust syndrome where the
Hey,
people
what's that about?
the people who were in the Holocaust, when they actually were released and freed, they were feeding them, and their body is not used to that amount of food that they have access to now, and it can actually overeat themselves to death. It's bad.
Yeah, you can die. You can get got.
That
Yeah.
happened with one of the fucking Donner Party survivors. They
Yeah.
got him.
Yeah.
They got him out, and they stopped
Just
off at a
ate-
station for some food, and he just ate himself to death.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy. So they had
That's got to be a nice way to die, though, right? Like
full
you haven't had food. You haven't had food in a long time, and then you eat food, and it's the best food you've ever had, and then you die.
I don't
That's
know.
how I want to die. I want to go out like that.
I don't know, man.
I'm,
One day.
I'm worried it's like you're gonna eat so much your stomach just twists into knots and you're stuck like that for an hour. You ever like sit on a toilet for an hour and your stomach
Oh,
is
man.
just
Yeah, I've done that. It also, I guess, it could rupture too. People's stomach ruptures.
That is true.
occasionally,
Yep.
and that sounds bad.
Yeah.
If you
Very-
just died though, totally full. Okay, that's just what I want. I think I just want to die fat from a heart attack. I think that's my that's my goal. Just eat some pie and then
Yeah.
die. There we go.
Well, we're about to get into John's family here. See, it wasn't just John. He actually had a couple half sisters.
Oh,
Now, the half sisters, as far as we know, they lived in the house. They had perfectly normal childhood.
they didn't have to. They didn't also dive into dumpsters and suck
Nope.
out toilet water.
They were allowed to go outside. They were allowed to go to other friends' house. However, they couldn't really bring friends to their house. Because of
On the count of the
reasons.
man in the in the in the
reasons.
bedroom. Yeah.
But as far as everything that's been documented about this case so far, they have perfectly normal lives, I think. Now, I
Yeah.
personally don't know how normal of a life you could have when your stepbrother's locked away, in the house. Because it's like, it's kind of
I
deranged.
think if you have a stepbrother locked in the house, you get really good at saying everything is fine, to anybody, because you don't want to also be locked in
Yeah.
your room,
you know what's coming for you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in defense of the parents, if you lock your child in their room for one day, it's kind of a slippery slope because, you get to 2 days and it's like, if we let him out now, he's going to tell somebody.
A
So you
week.
just have to keep him in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
In 2 weeks,
just
to a
take-
month, and it's like, well, we can't let anybody know now because it's been a month.
Yeah.
It's-
Once you're already there, you got to go all the way,
yeah. Now, I think I could be wrong on this part, but John's father had a stroke. in one of the years throughout and he was wheelchair bound. I know that for sure. He was wheelchair bound, but a few years later he passes away.
Oh,
I think the year before he was set free with the fire, he passes away. So it would be 2024.
that's
But-
good. I'm glad that happened.
Well, it wasn't necessarily John's father was bad, but it wasn't necessarily John's father that was doing it. It was the stepmom.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when John's father passed away, the house became even more strict. So
Hey, another question,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if this is mentioned in any of the articles.
yep.
Did John have a bunch of like animal friends, that he could talk to? Because
I
I've heard that if you've got like an evil stepmom and you get locked away and you got a dead dad, that happens. I've heard that that's like a thing.
well, I think so. I don't know. It's
Did he have like a mouse? Did he have a mouse tailor? that
I
could
don't
sew
know. I
him
can't
a
speak
shirt?
to any of that, but also I do know John was fully an adult when his dad passed away. So
No fairy godmother. Okay.
not that it really matters, because if he was robbed of a childhood, then he might still be reeling, like internally as a kid, if that makes sense. Like he didn't grow up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things of the world that John has no idea like what it is. There has been reports that he didn't know what a microwave was or how to use one.
Okay, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 12, and I guess he was just eating out of trash cans.
Yeah.
No microwave there. Never
Yeah.
mind.
And obviously he didn't really know what the internet was. He doesn't know really anything. He was just basically a kid inside of an adult's body at this point.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. So let's say you meet this guy now, and he's maybe not now, but shortly after. What is the first movie you show him?
Ooh.
What,
I was going to say
what-
something really insensitive, but I don't want to.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
No.
I think
Because
I'm
the
going to show him.
insensitive part of me said like Shawshank Redemption or something.
I'm going to show him the Diary of Anne Frank.
Yeah, that too. Something where you're locked
Maybe he
away.
can
or-
relate. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, Shawshank Redemption's a really good one because the man spoons his way out of a prison. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, I think he would really dig something like Top Gun. Can you
Ooh.
imagine that? Just not
Yeah.
knowing anything about life and
Yeah.
then seeing the dude fly.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
What about you, Brandon? What's your movie?
I'd show him Planet of the Apes.
Oh, that's a good. The original one or the new series?
I'd show him like the newer ones.
Those are good ones.
Now we could like entirely mess with them, like say things that like didn't happen, like I don't know, actually does. You could have like an invasion of aliens, or you could do like whatever. Like
Yeah, we could show him Mars Attacks and tell him it's a documentary. That'd
Yeah.
be pretty sick. Or War of the Worlds,
Yeah, H.G.
the
Wells. Yeah.
classic.
So that's insensitive still, but I was gonna say that I didn't mention this part. When he was locked away, he did get like one sandwich a day, but even that wasn't consistent. Like it was whatever he could get his hands on. It was bad. That's that was kind of his food source. Anyways,
That's good.
yeah.
Good sandwich.
Did they say what kind of sandwich it was?
No, they didn't really say.
Oh, it's a
Seems
shame.
like a bologna or maybe a liverwurst. Liverwurst it's too tasty though.
Yeah.
I love it. Love a good liverwurst.
So you may be wondering that if John had any uncles. He did have at least one, and his uncle was concerned about John when he was a kid, and then he knew how controlling Kimberly was of John, and he even went as far as to hire a PI to investigate where John was, but nothing came back.
Oh, dang.
Didn't look very fucking far.
Yeah, the PI drove by the house and he's like, it's weird that the second floor is all boarded up.
I mean, privacy concerns, and also the person could lie saying he's out with extended family. You know, like
Yeah,
And then they don't look into the extended family and be like, "Hey, have you seen the kid?
Well, I mean-
in 20 fucking years."
yeah, where's this kid at?
I don't know how good of a PI he hired was, but like,
Yeah,
fuck.
They just found
must have
a
been a-
guy
At least he was trying.
behind a
At least he
Lowe's.
was trying.
yeah, he fucking hired a Lowe's man. Yeah, he hired a guy named like Dick McGuffin or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Usually the PIs are the one like the heroes. Like usually when the PI comes in, it's like and that's when we actually learn the real, what was actually happening. But no, in this case, PI dropped the ball. I don't
Wasn't
know.
there a PI in Courtney Love case?
Oh, I think so.
I don't think he
There's
did
a-
his due diligence there.
I don't know. I think he tried. I don't remember the whole. I don't remember the
know
whole
either.
stuff there. Like he,
I thought there was a PI involved, but that was about it. And,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of times the PI does a good job, but then I guess there are some hot dog PIs out there.
yep.
I don't know why I call it a hot dog PI. They just don't do their job, or they do, but it's just not. You got to get if you're gonna spring for a hitman or a PI, you got to pay the big bucks.
Yep.
Either way.
So there was a moment in which John was almost probably freed. And there was someone who saw John. There was a moment where John was standing at the window and the neighbor's little girl was playing outside. She looked up at the window, she smiled and waved at John, and he smiled and waved back. The little girl told his dad about it, and over time, they thought it was a one-off where extra family came to visit and just left.
Somebody was there, and
Yes,
then just-
and they
yeah.
never saw him again. And
this.
yeah,
Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say this reminds me. I don't know if either of you have read To Kill a Mockingbird,
a long time ago.
but it's like the Arthur Radley character. In that, like, it's the one guy that is in the house pretty much all the time, and he was kind of abused as a child, and that's why he never leaves the house. But it's less fucked up because he's not stuck there. It's more of an agoraphobia thing after all of the abuse, But yeah, it's way more fucked up. So keep going.
So the little girl
That's
obviously told her dad, and then the dad didn't think too much of it. But like, had John went to the window or something and like knocked on the window, like saying "Help me," obviously that would have raised red flags, and we would have tried. But that never happened, and it's just weird how close you can be to something like that and not know. Like if your neighbor is doing something abhorrent, an atrocity, do you really know your neighbors?
Right. And you got to imagine too, for John's perspective, like maybe he's like, everybody knows I'm here and this is just what I deserve, or so, maybe
yeah.
there's something along those lines too, where like,
Over years, you start to internalize that you're the problem, and like you start blaming yourself too. Like that's just psychology, like where you think you're the reason as to why everything is wrong, and then so maybe it's better that you're locked away. That you start, your mind starts playing tricks like on you like that, and he doesn't know he's a kid,
for all intents and purposes, never grew up properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So where this leaves us, like past year, Kimberly was taken into custody following the fire. And she is presumed innocent until proven guilty. I want to keep that there for the record. Kimberly is charged with kidnapping, felon assault, cruelty to person, and other crimes. She and her lawyer have denied that she kept a man locked up and has pled not guilty. How do you do? Just okay. Well,
you can't.
we're gonna get.
I
into
mean, I
that
know
too.
you can do it, but like, it's just.
So her defense is Sullivan told the police that John was free to move around the house as he pleased, because when she was questioned as to if the door was locked, she said no. And also, he technically was allowed to move throughout the house for an hour.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
A whole
that doesn't
goddamn
count,
hour.
You slimy bitch.
If
God
we're
damn.
talking, okay, I'm not defending it, but if you're going to the full like devil advocate of of
Yeah, play devil's advocate, please.
of what she
Go ahead.
said and her actions, you can make a legal defense in the way she's trying to craft that says he was free to move about the house as he pleased throughout the time he was allowed.
Yeah, like that's in the technicality. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a fun trial to keep up with when it actually goes to court.
Okay.
What if we do find out that John is the manipulator the whole time?
Oh, that'd be
Like
crazy. Well, also,
yeah.
keep in mind, it gets very interesting. John is now 32 years old. How is Kimberly supposed to bathe and wash, like her stepson? Because if he doesn't want to shower, that's on him. He's technically an adult.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, also,
it gets weird,
does
doesn't
she
it?
let him shower? I mean, I think that's the thing. There is like, did she allow him to use the bathroom? Because
Then
it sounds like no.
it's his word against her word at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's also the one who was locked in a room and is malnourished and was shitting on newspapers.
Maybe he wanted to do
for-
that.
Maybe he did. Maybe, I don't know.
I
I
how
don't-
crazy some like artists can be sometimes, where they lock themselves in like solitary.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that he did it because he's an artist. I'm saying that there have been stranger things people have done with free will, I should say.
Yeah. I don't know. I fully believe that when he got out and told people immediately what happened, I think that puts the onus off of him of like,
Yeah.
I don't think it was his plan to
I
for any
don't
of this stuff.
like I said, I clearly I side more with John's story completely than I do with Kimberly. Now there's some other little pieces of news here that's kind of interesting. Later in court, a judge determined that she can return home. The judge heard special requests from both defense and prosecution. Sullivan's attorney asked the judge to allow his client to be returned to the Waterbird home, where she shared the home with the stepson, gather her belongings for the GPS tracker to be and for her GPS tracker to be removed. He has argued that she is not a flight risk and the restrictions are unnecessary burdensome. So that's what their lawyer and their defense is making to the judge. She is out on bond, which was set at $300,000. So she is at home.
She's at home.
At home in the
Did
burned out husk.
Yeah, she's living in a husk right now.
Yeah.
A hoarder's husk.
Now,
We glazed over that. It was a hoarder house.
Yes, there is that too. When the firefighters were trudging through everything, yeah, it's bad. Now, John's lawyer railed against this motion because he was arguing, why should she be allowed to be home and free when he was held captive for 20 years?
Yeah.
Which I think is a pretty good argument. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, at least be home and not free. Keep the GPS
Yeah.
Put the GPS tracker on. If you're so innocent, prove it, dude. Yeah. Come on.
So there is some new things that have happened in this past year, which is kind of cool. Sullivan's stepson, John, who has been known publicly as Mr. S. That's what he's wants to name himself, and he said his name is his first choice as a free person, and he's going to be making a lot of free choices going forward. And his alias is sealed because obviously he changed his name and to protect the victims. So his name is sealed.
Yep.
Now, as well as medical records to be concealed. The judge postponed a decision on the medical records, but this would not be a coffee talk episode if there wasn't a gut-wrenching twist. You guys ready for this?
Oh boy.
Yep. Was he pregnant?
Nope.
Okay.
A judge on Friday, I think this was in October, allowed the Connecticut woman accused of holding her stepson captive for 2 decades to access his alias, address, medical records, according to her attorney in NBC, Connecticut. So now she
fucking
knows
Christ.
his name. She knows where he lives. She knows the medical records. Like, what the fuck?
This is like the Supreme Court taking bribes, and you find out they've just been doing that the whole time, and it's just like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Stop it. God damn it. I hate people. Why? Just God fucking damn it.
So the one
It's the law.
So one attempt for him to start a fresh life, for him to create an alias that is his own.
Yes. Sorry.
Free from fear of his captor. This is his alleged captor. And she is allowed to have access to that information.
Just why? Why do you do that? Why? It's so stupid.
Because
what are you doing? God damn.
I think the argument came down to the ability to face your accuser.
So okay. That's a great argument.
That's supposed to happen in the fucking courtroom, though. Not
that's in you face your accuser in the court. You don't face him down on the street.
There is a hearing on December 19th. That's all I know. But I'm assuming there will be a trial. And
okay, so that already happened, right?
Yes, that was December 19th. I don't know. I didn't look into that hearing details. But I'm guessing they're gathering evidence. I'm guessing there's motions, and it's going to be a long time before they probably can go to trial, because I do know these things take time. Trials take a long time to. Yeah. But I figured it would be a good story because the one person who I believe who shouldn't have access to that information is given access.
Certainly her. It should not be up to her to have the information. It should be maybe her lawyer, and it should be like a confidence thing. What are we doing?
I would say,
damn, guys.
Here's how I would do the system, where John's lawyer, or Mr. S, would know his location and his address and would be the only person that would have that information. And if they need to like depose him or be a witness or whatever, they get a hold of his lawyer, and then his lawyer gets a hold of him as to know the dates and times. That's how I would do it. But again, I don't make the rules. I don't, I'm not in Connecticut,
Taryn, do you know if this woman is like connected to people or something like that? Is that why she's getting so many fucking things? Is that what's happening here?
Not that I know of.
How connected can you be to people if your fucking the second floor of your house is boarded up?
Yeah, I guess. I was just like, does she have like family that's like law enforcement or something that are just like, we'll get you a sweet deal or so? I don't know. Because like,
yeah,
it's just insane. This is insane. God.
So I was curious as to know if you guys heard about this case or not. It's a fucking doozy one.
I heard about it when it happened.
I've heard about stories of people being locked in their, house against their will, but this one escaped me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to the last podcast on the left a lot, and they brought this up on Side Stories last year, like when it happened, and I remember hearing about it. And then they didn't talk about it. Usually they bring stuff up one time, and then they'll update it if it, concludes or whatever. But so I remember hearing about that. I didn't know about any of this other stuff.
Yeah.
God damn.
Here, I will send you guys a photo, and I'll have this on the video of what the house looked like.
It should have already been on trial. Like how what is the defense? He wanted to be. Oh my God, are you serious?
What the fuck?
That's the fucking house. The PI drove by that house and he's like, nothing much to say. Are we fucking serious right now?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Are we serious, guys?
Yep.
You show me that house and you're like, for the first place, if you make anybody live there when they're a child, it's like, you just insane, dude. Mm-hmm. Make an effort. God damn.
Oh my God. So, any final thoughts
Jesus
here, guys,
Christ.
as we kind of wrap this story up?
I think this is pretty bad.
Yeah, I think that kind of is an understatement. I told you it was like crimes against humanity. I think that's pretty apt description of it.
This looks like a house people get killed in on the regular.
Oh yeah, this is the house you stay away from when you're a kid because you're afraid to play out front. If there's a ball that rolls into the yard, that ball's theirs now. You don't go for it.
It is going to remain that too.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be even worse now. They're going to be like, this is the house where there was a child locked away
for 20 years.
Yeah, for 20 years, and that's the story that they told, and they laughed it off. But then you find out it was real.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. You're scared.
I'm not going to that fucking house on Halloween. I don't care if the porch light's on. I don't care if they have full-size Snickers.
Oh,
yeah,
you know what?
they're also.
Yeah.
That looks like the house that would just leave the bowl out, and
Yeah.
it says "Take only one." We're watching,
Yeah.
and they really mean they're actually watching you. And
If you take two, you get locked in as well.
yeah, if you take one, you're safe. Take two, you're taken.
Yeah.
You get taken. My
Yeah.
God,
It's not a treat, is it?
no.
God, and the stepsisters, presumably they were adults for a good while at by
yeah.
this point.
So
They never thought to say anything.
I thought the same thing. Now, if it were me, I don't see how you could not like charge the stepsisters with accessory,
Right.
because
Especially after they got old enough. Like when they're
Yes.
kids, it's one thing, but
they had information that they were neglected, at least negligence to accessory, like one of those two, because they did not report it. They knew it was going on, and that, I guess that goes, do you have to report a crime that you know of? Like,
technically, I think if you're related to it at all, if you don't report it, you could be an accessory, or if
but the police
if they
never
find out that you knew
investigated
about
them.
it.
So like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's this is a common problem in a lot of things like this, is that the police just don't do their fucking jobs, and it makes things so much more complicated.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we're going to find out 10 years from now, there's going to be a documentary that comes out that's going to be like, 20 years ago, the police were investigating the, missing, the missing child, John. And they knocked on the door and they saw him running around and they said, please, you have to take me away. This is all hypothetical. I bet this is what comes up, though. The kid's like, please, you have to help me. You have to take me out of there. And then the parents come in and they're like, no, he's just playing.
Yeah.
And then they leave and forget about it, and they write it off like, oh, no, the kid's fine. He's just a kid.
Yep.
And then we find that out 5 years from now, that this all could have been avoided if one person actually decided to do their fucking job.
So
Goddamn, because that's what happens every time. Fuck.
So this shouldn't have happened, obviously, for a number of reasons. When I was doing my investigation on this story, what seemed like what happened is, over the years, the people who knew of John's existence either forgot about him or just assumed he moved somewhere else with a different family, because they never saw him again. And there was no missing persons filed, so there was nobody looking, and nobody knew to say anything because nobody saw him. So over the years, after like a few years, you just kind of assume that he's moved out of the house or something. He's just not there anymore.
Right. Yeah, that's horrible, man.
Yeah. And then obviously the parents have full control of the narrative story whenever someone knocks on the door.
Right. I don't know. Like you said, you assume that the kid, she's just a regular kid, moves out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they can, my God.
Yeah.
There probably wasn't like a missing persons report, but I bet, I almost guarantee that there's more to this, that is going to come out that like there's so many.
I'm very
people
interested
that
in
just
the
failed.
teacher reports, like, to the family, and
Yeah, the teacher reports, all that stuff coming up. There's probably like some sort of social worker thing. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows
Also,
what it is? But
if he
Go
was
ahead.
12, he probably didn't have an online communication, so he didn't have social media. He didn't have anything. Like, he was like, so nobody knew how to contact
Mm-hmm.
him from the outer bubble, you know?
right. Yeah, yeah.
If he
I
never
care-
had
I-
a job, he never was missing from his job. So like, it's, you know, these social things that we have as adults or just as people in general, where like there's small responsibilities that are expected of you, and when something is not done or someone is missing, that it triggers an alarm in your head. Like, if you don't show up to work one day, that's a red flag. Maybe in the second day, maybe we should do a wellness check.
Yeah, wellness. Yeah.
And then the third day, then maybe he just quit. You know, like, you have to ponder these questions as at least from an employer. But he was 12 and he never had a job, and like, he was just locked in his room. So yeah, it's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't. There's just not a lot to say. Other
I told
than,
you
like,
it's gonna be a
God,
dark one today.
somebody failed this kid, and it wasn't just his stepmom. By the way, have you guys seen a picture of his stepmom? She looks like the type of person who would keep
No, I did
somebody in her house.
Here, I can send you the image. I was not going to put an image of her up because I don't want her having more attention.
Oh yeah, God forbid she get doxxed or something.
not
God
not
forbid.
docs, but like, I just don't want her. I don't want
Yeah,
to
you don't- yeah, you don't
glamorize
wanna-
this because it's a
Yeah,
fucked up thing.
You shouldn't. She's a
Mm.
horrible looking person. She
Even
looks
though
like
I've
the
said her
type of
name like
person
about
who would.
30 times this episode.
Yeah. Should I try to email her? I'm gonna send her an email. I'll come back. We'll come back next week. I'll tell you how that goes.
Let me pull up
Get
this and I'll
we'll get
drop
the inside scoop.
the photo in the Discord for you.
Just a troll of a woman.
There you go.
My God.
But that is this week's episode of Coffee Talk.
Yeah. Well, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Please
If
don't
you,
lock anybody in your basement, or do and tell someone about it.
If you want to, okay, yeah.
If you
Go ahead,
if
Brandon.
you see a neighbor with a second floor boarded up, maybe do a little investigating. Did they have a kid there that just kind of disappeared one day?
Yeah.
You know, take
Yeah.
a look
There's
around.
ghost
Also-
stories.
Also, tell them about Coffee Talk so they can listen.
Yep. They can listen while they're isolated and locked up.
No, the neighbor that's locking them up.
Oh, I was
They don't-
thinking at least for Mr. John or Mr. S. Yeah, he can
Yeah, I
listen.
mean you can yell that up to the the
Yeah.
captive person.
Yeah.
But fine. If go out today. This is what I was talking about the other week on their Bad Christmases draft.
Uh-huh.
Where like there's just people. This guy isn't the only one who's locked in his house.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. There's dozens, probably hundreds
Oh yeah, hundreds, if not thousands.
in
Yeah.
America. Yeah, if not thousands, more than you think.
Oh yeah.
See,
But I just thought this story was it's just such gut wrenching with the whole alias at the very end. Like, oh my god, the one thing I
gets
think
leaked.
yeah, well, not leaked, it was
one-
approved.
or not leaked, approved. It's
Yeah.
not even leaked. Yeah, the one thing he had that was his own
Yeah,
is given away so he can be harassed by family members or whoever.
his captor. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah,
Taryn, thank you for the episode. Brandon, thank you for being here.
yeah. Of course.
Always.
That's Coffee Talk. Max isn't here, so we don't have a fun fact thing. Definitely like for sure.
Yep.
Comment for sure. Subscribe for sure. Don't lock your children up. Remember, it's a slippery slope. If you do it one time, you've got to do it for the rest of their lives
Yep.
until you get caught or they die.
Yep.
And then you get to bury them secretly in the backyard.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Well, have a great rest of the week.
Bye.
Bye.
1, 2, ready, go. What's the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.